Look at that grass. And that right there, my friends, is why people real mow.
Scott's Pro 18-inch 7-blade reel mower. Is it any better than the Great States or Earthwise? Read before you use. Follow directions. It's nice and shiny. This is the way I find best to put things together, whether it be something metal, something wood, whatever it is I like to lay things out in order, get my instructions, and go from there. You gotta have a workspace. If you don't set up your workspace, it's gonna take you almost twice as long to put it together. Lay things out in order, take your directions, and go from there. Show you adjusting the height of cut. Make sure the reel is cutting with bed knife. I'm going to show you the height of cut because this confuses quite a few people because they think just right here is it. If you want to reel mow and go low, you want to go low. My old one, a 16-inch Earthwise. This is the new one, 18-inch Scott's Pro. Fellas, does 2 inches make a difference? Depending on what type of manual push reel mower you get, the height of cut adjustment is a little different. It's usually back here somewhere, okay? This is Scott's brand. You pay a little bit more, so they have a nice little easy boop, 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 like that. Okay, which adjusts this, which brings it back down, which brings the bed knife down. Right now, at this setting right here, it's set at 3 inches. Now, how you know that is, lift it up. See this? I don't have my other glove on. The bed knife right here, okay? This is where the blade meets the bed knife, cuts like a scissors. I'll show you that in a little bit once we test it out. So if you want to know exactly where you're at cutting, get your tape measure, see where your bed knife is, stick your tape measure down inside there. And it looks like it's at about 2 7/8. But from the factory, highest setting, you can cut it at 2 7/8. Okay? If you want a reel mow, like, okay, I'm gonna go all the way down. I wanna go real low. I'm gonna go down to the lowest setting. Get all excited. Gonna have me a putting green or fairway, all that kind of stuff. Okay? So you have that. Now we check. That takes down to about 1 3/4, 1 7/8, somewhere in that neighborhood. When I'm being precise, I'll get down there. Where you say, okay, well, that doesn't get me down to a fairway or putting green. No, it doesn't. And this is where people get confused. Well, the instructions or the brochure said it could. It's junk, send it back. Read the directions, last page, and there's 3 adjustments that give you 3 different there. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if that's 9 adjustments on there, you've got 9 times 3. You've got 27 height adjustments on here that you can do. I'll show you the other ones. Screwdriver. Pop that end off. Your E-clip here. Pop your E-clip off. Okay, now slow down here. You gotta take this wheel off. Okay, I'm gonna flip it up. This is probably best now done flipped up. Slowly take your wheel off, and it reveals a gear in here. Then it also reveals a nut and a slot. Y'all can see that? There's the nut. Right here is the slot. 1, 2, 3. Right there. We loosen this, take this out, adjust this. That gives us our 3 other settings right there. Grab your 12 millimeter socket. After your 12 millimeter socket, you need a 13 millimeter socket. Now you have to take this top off, and there's a nut on the bottom side that you need to hold because it's a lock nut. I just have a crescent wrench right here. It's real tight in there. I have gloves on because my backside of my finger is touching that rail, that blade right now. So I say, have gloves on. Okay, I have this. I'm going to move it. If that was A, we'll say, highest setting. B is going to be middle. I'm going down low. And then there's another hole that this center goes in. Grab our nut right here. Okay. We can just kind of put our 12 millimeter a little bit hand tight back in there. But we got to get our 13 millimeter back in there with the lock nut. Have gloves on because my hand is touching up my backside of the hand is touching the blade. Okay. Before I tighten that center down, I'm going to go back to my 12 millimeter. I'm going to get this centered up. Because when you get everything centered, you want to have both sides equal. Because if not, you're going to be cutting crooked. So get things centered. Get it where your plate's hardly moving at all. Everything's centered up. Okay. Get that. Switch back to my 13 millimeter. Okay, now I need to put the crescent on. It's kind of tight in there. And once you get it adjusted, you don't want to move this portion. You don't have to. That portion is nice and tight. This is right here. This is a gear, it's teeth. And this white is gear. There's grease on this. Another good reason to have gloves on. So you set this down in there, and you'll feel it lock right there. Boom. Okay. We're in there. And we put our E-clip back on, set it in there, push it on with a screwdriver. Make sure it's seated good. E-clips sometimes can be difficult. You want to make sure that center part is seated back in that E-clip slot. Boom, there it goes. You heard that click? Put that one on, then do the other side. Through the magic of a video, I just put the other side. I just did the other side. E-clip back on. Seated in good. Cover back on. Flip it over. Now we can measure. Some of these could be close to the same measurements, slightly off. Okay, so where I'm all the way in my back here, I'm all the way back. Okay? Check. Put you at about 2 inches. Notice the other one was higher. I think it was at 2.5. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Now we're on the C setting, we'll call it. Take this all the way up here and see where we're at on our absolute lowest. Remember, our absolute lowest before only got us down to 1.5 inches. This gets us down to that gets us down to 1 inch. That gets you a little closer. That's more like golf course fairway. It's not putting green, but it's more like golf course fairway. Now you can make modifications to get it down lower, because I had that Earthwise, I had that bad boy down to 1/2 inch. This puts me at 1 inch. And I'm gonna go with this right now because my grass is a little taller. This is your reel, this is your bed knife. Reel hits bed knife, scissor action happens. Get yourself a piece of paper, whatever it is, scrap. I just ripped a piece. Okay, and as this goes, if you see your wheels, this moves this way. Okay, so it rolls down. Roll it down. See if it cuts. 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 Gloves, very sharp. Checking a couple cuts. Cuts. And cuts. It cuts all over. That right there is why reel mowing is superior to rotary mowing. You get a cut like that. Nice, fine, clean scissor cut. Same thing that's on that paper will be the same thing on those blades of grass out there. Okay. A new Checkmate lawn striping kit from Big League Lawns again. I had gotten a second one for this specifically, and this bar back here works perfect. Now this is very similar how the Ryobi was supposed to attach to the Ryobi. I didn't have to order anything special. I just ordered the kit that was for Ryobi because I saw this in the brochure advertisement for this mower, that it had this shaft and everything, and I was assuming that it was going to work. If not, I was going to modify it to make it work. It works. No other hardware was needed. Just order the Checkmate kit for the Ryobi mower and you are good to go. Take this out there and we're gonna mow. Okay, real quick, why you would want the 7 blade and not the 4 or the 5 blade. Because when you get going with just a manual push, the reel is only gonna spin how fast you go, okay? What's good about the battery powered and the gas powered ones is this spins at high RPMs just like your rotary, okay? With the 4 and the 5 blade, you get a ripple effect in your grass. You'll see it as you're going along because the lower you go, I should say, okay? If you're cutting at 2.5, 2 inches, you're probably not gonna see it. And if you're cutting at around 3/4 or under, you're gonna see that ripple effect in your lawn. That's why you would, if you wanna go under an inch to around 3/4 or something, that's why you would get a 7 blade at least with a manual. Someday I'm gonna either have a battery powered or the Hudson Star Greens mower, which is 11 blade. And the way it's geared, it spins really, really fast.
Ooh, doggy. Look at that grass. You don't get a better cut. And that was a stripage. Got lots going on at Electric Lawns, and it's Electric Lawns. We're only using electric, either manual power, horsepower we'll call it, Mikey power, or battery power. We're not using no gas. Okay, I don't care what it is. I don't care what the project. If I can't get the project done by my sheer physical ability or what I have with battery powered equipment, I'm not doing the job. Simple enough. I hope that's why you guys tune in, so that you can see that there's a lot of stuff that you can do with battery powered and manual power, that we don't have to have that flipping 2-stroke doggone fuel, engine oil and stuff like that. It's horrible. It smells, stinks, nasty. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I like this. I only smell like grass when I'm done. I don't smell like engine fumes. I don't have to sit there and pull start. I don't have to, oh man, I forgot, I gotta go get fuel. No. Even if I don't put a battery on charge, I got extra batteries that I can just throw a battery in, and I got rapid chargers that that battery didn't get charged last night, so I just put it back in, good to go. Scott's 18-inch 7-blade manual reel mower with Big League Lawns Checkmate striping kit. I call it a thumbs up. One thing you do with that is I like to, after I'm done, blow it off and then spray some WD-40 on the blades. Same thing with that IDEC power rotary scissors. I spray some WD-40 on there after I'm done. It kind of helps with the sound on the IDEC, on the power rotary scissors, but with the reel mower, it keeps those blades good from rusting and everything like that. I say that a lot, everything like that, and this and that. I gotta stop that stuff. If I'm saying something too much, y'all tell me about it. Because that's one of my pet peeves, is people saying like, people saying just. That might be one of mine. Used to be. And literally, I will smack a cracker saying literally too much. You literally. I'm teaching my kids, man, don't sound like an idiot. Sound like a literate person. Don't sound like an idiot. Because when you say words that the rest of society does, just like Jesus says, be of this world, or be in this world, not of this world. Dang, I'm bad at remembering some of that stuff. Anyway, what he's saying is don't be acting like a fool like everyone else. All right? On that note, we'll call this good. For the Electric Lawns family, this is Mike. Out.